My precious child, do not scroll away from this moment, because what is happening to you at night is not just stress, and it is not your imagination. There is a reason the attacks come when the room is dark, when your body is trying to rest and your mind is the most unguarded. Have you ever been drifting toward sleep and suddenly a vile thought flashes across your mind like a blade? A fear you did not invite, an image you did not choose, a whisper that sounds like your own inner voice saying, "You're dirty, you're failing, God is tired of you." And the moment it hits you, you feel that jolt in your chest. Shame pours in like cold water. You start questioning yourself. Why would I think that? What is wrong with me? Listen to me carefully. My beloved, not every thought that passes through your mind belongs to you. Some thoughts are not who you are. They are arrows designed to wound you, to exhaust you, and to make you condemn yourself before you ever lift your eyes to me. The enemy rarely begins with an action. He begins with a suggestion. He plants a seed and waits for you to water it with fear, attention, and self-hatred. And if he can keep you fighting yourself in the dark, he can keep you too tired to step into the light of what I am building in you. For as I have said in John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. But I did not bring you here tonight to accuse you. I brought you here to teach you how to win. You are not losing your mind. You are being targeted because of the light you carry. The darkness is not brave. It is desperate. It strikes at midnight because it hopes you will mistake exhaustion for truth. It hopes you will confuse a passing arrow for your identity. It hopes you will call yourself what I never called you. And here is the most dangerous part of this attack. The enemy does not knock at the door of your mind with a demonic voice. No, he knocks with a voice that sounds most like you. He disguises condemnation as self-awareness, fear as wisdom, and shame as humility. That is why you have felt trapped inside your own thoughts. But stay with me, because tonight I am going to expose his disguise. And I am going to give you something simple, powerful, and immediate words you will speak out loud that will cut through the whispers and restore peace to your mind. You will not fight this battle in silence anymore. So breathe. Do not panic. Do not argue with the arrow. I will show you how to recognize the difference between my voice and the voice of the deceiver the moment it appears, so you can stop the attack before it becomes a storm. I have watched you, my beloved child, as you move through the thick fog of exhaustion that refuses to lift no matter how many hours you close your eyes. I see the tightness in your shoulders, the dull pressure in your head that lingers like a storm cloud that will not break. I know the sudden racing of your heart when nothing has happened, and that heavy weight on your chest that makes even rest feel like work. You have been carrying burdens that were never meant to live on your shoulders alone. You have been the pillar for everyone else, while your own foundation has been quietly cracking. I have seen you wear a mask of strength for your family, your friends, your colleagues, only to collapse in the secret places where no one can see your trembling hands. And then night comes, and the moment your body tries to finally surrender to sleep, the battle begins again. The enemy loves the hour when you are depleted, because a tired mind is easier to intimidate. My precious one, I see you in the silence of your car or in the solitude of your room, staring into nothingness because you feel too drained to even form a prayer. You have felt responsible for every outcome, every bill, every person's happiness, until the weight of it has left you hollow. This is not just physical tiredness that a nap can cure. This is soul weariness, what happens when you have been pouring out from an empty cup for far too long. And when your spirit whispers, "Lord, I cannot do this anymore," I am not offended by your weakness. I am not disappointed by your humanity. This is the moment I have been waiting for, not to shame you, but to carry you. For it is when you reach the end of your strength that you begin to discover mine. Hear me, you are not behind in life, and you are not being punished. You are a warrior who has been on the front lines for so long that peace feels unfamiliar. The enemy has tried to use exhaustion as a weapon, whispering that your fatigue is proof you are losing, that your weariness means you are failing. But I tell you the truth, even my greatest servants grew weary. Weariness is not sin. Weariness is a signal. It is the evidence that you have been holding more than you were designed to hold. Your scars are not shame. They are credentials. They prove you survived the fire and remained standing. Now listen closely, because this is where the battle turns. The enemy does not only attack you with thoughts, he attacks you with pressure. He wants you so tired that you accept lies without questioning them. He wants you so drained that you confuse condemnation with truth and anxiety with discernment. But I am about to teach you a new way, a way of abiding instead of striving, of resting without fear, of returning to peace without earning it. So take a deep breath, place your hand over your heart, and remember the rhythm you feel is my faithfulness sustaining you even now. In a moment, you will learn how to recognize the first spark of an attack, how to discern what is mine and what is not. So the spiral stops before it steals another night of rest from you. My dear child, I need to speak to you about the hidden battlefield within your mind, the place where the enemy has launched his most vicious and deceptive arrows. I have seen those moments when a sudden dark thought flashes across your consciousness like a bolt of lightning, leaving you feeling cold, frightened, and deeply ashamed. These thoughts come unbidden whispers of failure, flashes of past mistakes, and terrifying what-if scenarios that make your stomach tighten with anxiety. And in the aftermath, you have feared the most painful lie of all: if I thought it, it must be who I am. But listen to me, my beloved, those thoughts are not a confession of your character. They are flaming arrows designed to make you retreat from the destiny I have carved out for you. The enemy knows that if he can control the narrative in your head, he can paralyze your hands and feet. He is not trying to inform you. He is trying to frame you, to trap you in a story where you are condemned before you ever breathe in my peace. And here is how he makes the arrow feel like truth. He attaches it to a storm. Yes, the storm. Because right after the thought hits, something else rises inside you, an emotion so intense it feels like evidence. Fear floods your body. Shame clamps down on your chest. Anxiety makes your heart race. And you start thinking, if I feel this strongly, it must be real. But I am teaching you a holy distinction tonight. Your emotions are real, but they are not rulers. They are weather, not a judge. A storm in the sky does not mean the sun has vanished forever. It only means clouds have moved in. And a storm in your emotions does not mean you are abandoned, rejected, or broken beyond repair. It means you are human and you are under pressure. Many of my children have made this mistake. They let the weather take the wheel. When sadness comes, they conclude, God has left me. When fear rises, they conclude, I am unsafe. When shame burns, they conclude, I am dirty. But emotions were never meant to be your courtroom. They are messengers, sometimes loud, sometimes trembling, sometimes confusing. But they are not the final verdict over your life. So when the hurricane hits your mind, do not panic and start confessing lies over yourself. Do not crown the storm as king. Instead, do this. Stand still for a moment and name what is happening without becoming it. Say I am feeling fear, not I am doomed. Say I am feeling shame, not I am shame. Say I am feeling anxious, not I will never be free. This is how you break the spell. The enemy wants you to fuse with the feeling so it becomes your identity. But I am separating you from it. I am showing you that the storm can be loud while your spirit remains anchored. Now hear the truth. When the most cunning tactic the deceiver uses is the mimicry of your own voice. He does not always come as a terrifying monster. He often speaks in the first person using the word ease, so you will mistake his accusations for your own convictions. When you hear, "I will never be good enough, I am a disappointment to God, I will always be trapped in this cycle," understand this, that is the voice of the accuser, not the voice of your Father. My voice does not crush you into panic. My voice does not drive you into self-hatred. My voice brings light, clarity, and the path back to peace, even in the middle of the storm. I saw you last night and the many nights before when you sat in the darkness with tears on your face, feeling like you were losing a war you never chose to fight. I was there in that room. I am not repelled by your struggle. I am drawn to it with a desire to heal and protect. You are not a bad person for experiencing these thoughts. You are a soldier in a spiritual war, and the enemy only attacks what threatens his darkness. So let this be your anchor. An arrow can pass through your mind without becoming your identity. And a storm can rise in your emotions without becoming your destiny. I am going to show you what makes the storm even louder, how the noise outside you feeds the battle within you, and how to quiet it long enough to hear me clearly again. I have seen the invisible cage that has surrounded your spirit for so long, my beloved. I have watched you move through your days like a ghost in your own life, surrounded by people who see your smile, but never the hollow ache behind your eyes. I know the stinging pain of being misunderstood by those who should know you best, and the silence that follows when you try to explain the depth of your battle only to realize no words seem enough. You have felt as though you are carrying a cross too heavy for one soul to bear. But I need to reveal something to you that has been fueling your loneliness. Without you even noticing the noise outside, you has been feeding the war inside you. This world is loud. Loud with opinions, timelines, highlight reels, and strangers speaking with confidence about lives they do not understand. You open your phone for a moment of distraction, and the noise pours in. Someone else's success, someone else's beauty, someone else's relationship, someone else's perfect faith. And before you realize what has happened, comparison begins to whisper, "You're behind." Envy begins to whisper, "You're lacking." Shame begins to whisper, "You don't measure up." And then the enemy does something subtle. He uses that noise to push you into hiding. Because when you feel exposed, you isolate. When you feel judged, you retreat. When you feel less than, you begin living in a posture of defense, trying to prove you are fine, trying to appear strong, trying to keep your pain neatly contained so no one can use it against you. You have been smiling in public while bleeding in private because you are exhausted from being examined like a product in a marketplace. My child, hear me, not every voice deserves a seat in your mind. Not every opinion deserves a vote in your identity. I have seen you withdraw, not out of pride, but because you were tired of hearing "just be happy" or "just have more faith" from people who have never stood in the fire you are enduring. I saw you sitting at that table nodding along to conversations while your heart was screaming for someone, anyone to truly see you. And I saw the look in your eyes when those you trusted most turned away when you needed them to stay. Betrayal cut deep into your spirit, and the enemy tried to weaponize it, whispering, "You are too broken to be loved, too complicated to be understood, too far gone to be rescued. But I am telling you the truth. I have never been closer to you than in the moments you felt most alone. When the world walked out, I stepped in. Now let me correct a lie the noise has planted in you. Your worth is not determined by likes, views, comments, or anyone's approval. I did not price you with public applause. I redeemed you with blood. The world measures value with attention, but heaven measures value with covenant. The enemy wants you addicted to validation because a person who needs approval can be controlled. But a person who knows they are loved by me cannot be manipulated by opinion. So right now, do something simple, something holy. Place your hand over your heart for a moment and breathe slowly. Feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. That is the sound of my faithfulness sustaining you, even when you felt unseen. You are not an island. You're not a mistake. You're not forgotten. And listen closely, because this is where your freedom begins. Isolation is not always rejection. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes I am separating you from voices that cannot steward your destiny. Sometimes I am quieting the crowd so you can finally hear the only voice that can heal you. Yet there is still a deeper place the enemy loves to hide beneath public noise, beneath other people's opinions. It is the private room of your soul where you lock away wounds, unforgiveness, and pain you never let anyone touch. And I will lead you there, not to shame you, but to cleanse you, because I do not expose you to destroy you. I expose you to heal you. I must pull back the veil for you, my child, so you can understand the mechanics of the battle you are fighting. The enemy is a thief, and a thief never announces his arrival with a trumpet. He crawls through shadows, searching for doors left slightly open, places, unattended places, unhealed places you learn to hide even from yourself. Yes, he attacks when you sleep. But hear me, his greatest strategy is not simply to disturb your rest. His greatest strategy is to keep you from becoming whole. He wants you exhausted, distracted, and numb, because a tired soul rarely goes deep enough to be healed. Think of your mind and heart as a sanctuary I built for our communion. The enemy does not always storm the front gate. Many times he slips into the hidden rooms, the private places you avoid, the memories you refuse to touch, the bitterness you told yourself you moved on from, the secret shame you never named out loud, the quiet compromises you made just to survive. He hides in what is concealed, because what is concealed cannot be cleansed. That is why the night can feel so heavy. When the noise of the day finally fades, what you buried under busyness begins to rise. Old wounds, unforgiveness, fear you never processed, regrets you never surrendered. And the thief tries to twist those things into chains, replaying failures, magnifying insecurities, whispering lies about your future, until you wake with dread that has no name and no origin. But I am revealing this to you now, not to cause you fear, but to give you authority. Because you cannot defeat an enemy you refuse to identify, and you cannot heal what you keep hidden. My beloved, I do not expose your hidden places to humiliate you. I expose them to heal you. The accuser points at your darkness to condemn you. I shine light into your darkness to cleanse you. The enemy wants you to believe that your private pain is proof you are disqualified. But I tell you, the very places that feel most broken are the places where my mercy desires to meet you first. So do not confuse conviction with condemnation. Condemnation says hide. Conviction says come closer. Condemnation pushes you away from my presence. Conviction draws you into it, because my presence is not a courtroom for destruction, it is a sanctuary for restoration. This is the holiness of the hidden place, not the performance of perfection, but the surrender of what is real. And now, in the quiet of your spirit, I invite you into a simple, sacred prayer. Not a prayer of shame, but a prayer of cleansing. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Let those words settle into your bones, not as a ritual, but as a door opening. As you breathe, release what you have been clutching in secret. Release the resentment you justified. Release the coping you have hidden. Release the pain you have carried alone. I am not asking you to punish yourself. I am asking you to come into the light so you can finally be free. And as you do, the thief loses ground, because darkness cannot negotiate in the presence of honesty. Chains cannot remain where surrender has been spoken. The enemy thrives where you pretend. He starves where you confess and heal. Tonight, before you close your eyes, let the hidden place become holy again. Let your inner sanctuary be washed not with fear, but with truth. Not with self-hatred, but with mercy. Not with striving, but with my spirit. I am training you to be a victor in secret, so you can walk as a conqueror in daylight, whole, steady, and unafraid. My beloved chosen one, you have often looked at the heavens with tears in your eyes and asked the question that echoes through the corridors of time. Why me? You have wondered why your path seems so much steeper than those around you, why your battles are so much more intense, and why you seem to be a magnet for trials that others never have to face. I want you to understand something today that will shift your entire perspective. The intensity of the attack against you is the greatest proof of the magnitude of the assignment I have placed upon your life. You are not being targeted because you are weak. You are being targeted because you are a threat to the kingdom of darkness. Your light is not a flicker. It is a blazing torch that illuminates the shadows, and the enemy is terrified of the moment you fully realize who you are in me. I did not choose you because you were perfect, but because I saw a heart that would remain faithful even when broken. The very things that have tried to destroy you are the tools I am using to forge a spirit that cannot be shaken. Being a chosen one is a heavy mantle, for it often requires you to walk through seasons of profound isolation and misunderstanding. I have seen you feel like an outsider in your own family, a stranger among your peers, and a misfit in the world's systems. This is not a mistake. I have set you apart because I am building something in you that the world cannot give and cannot take away. You have felt the sting of rejection, but that rejection was my protection, keeping you from being contaminated by environments that would have stifled your growth. I have allowed the pressure to mount because I am producing oil from your life, an anointing that will heal others, break chains, and bring light to those in despair. You are not falling apart. You are being dismantled so that I can rebuild you into a vessel of honor. The darkness hates you because it sees the glory of the Father reflected in your soul, even when you feel at your lowest. Remember, the thief does not break into an empty house. He only targets the home that contains priceless treasures. You are that treasure, and I am the King who guards you. Do not let the weight of your burden convince you that you have been disqualified. Many are called, but few are chosen to endure the refining fire that produces true spiritual authority. I have seen every night you spent in agony, wondering if you would ever see the break of day. I have seen the moments you felt like giving up, yet you chose to take one more step. That resilience is the hallmark of the chosen one. You are being trained to handle the weight of the blessing that is coming. A small blessing requires little preparation, but a destiny that changes nations and heals bloodlines requires a character that has been tested in the furnace of affliction. You are an overcomer, not because you never feel fear, but because you move forward despite it. I I am with you in the fire, and I promise that when you come out, you will not even smell like smoke. You will emerge with a strength that is not your own, a peace that surpasses understanding, and a clarity of purpose that will silence every lie of the enemy. You were born for such a time as this, and I am proud of the warrior you are becoming. I want you to look beyond the people who have hurt you and the circumstances that have conspired against you, for your struggle is not against flesh and blood. You are not fighting against a person, a boss, or family member, though the enemy often uses their faces as a mask. You are standing in the midst of a spiritual conflict, facing principalities, powers, and the rulers of the darkness of this world. This is why human weapons and earthly logic have failed to bring you peace. You cannot fight a spiritual battle with physical strength. But do not be afraid, my child, for I have not sent you into this battle unprotected. I have provided you with armor forged in heaven, fitted for your soul. I have given you the belt of truth to hold your identity together when lies come swirling. I have placed upon you the breastplate of righteousness to guard your heart from the poison of guilt and shame. I have shod your feet with the preparation of peace that passes understanding, so that no matter how rocky the terrain, your steps remain steady and sure. My word is not merely a collection of ancient stories or dry ink on a page. It is the very breath of my being, living and active, sharper than any double-edged sword. When I speak, darkness must flee. And when you speak my truth, the atmosphere around you must shift. My word does not return to me empty. It accomplishes what I send it to do. You have searched for answers in the words of men, hoping for a sign or a crumb of comfort. But I am inviting you to drink from the fountain of eternal truth. My promises are an anchor when waves of anxiety threaten to pull you under. When the enemy says you are finished, my word says you are more than a conqueror. When the world says you are lacking, my word says I am your provider, and you shall not want. I am training your tongue to agree with heaven instead of echoing fear, because your mouth is not only for surviving, your mouth is for governing. When I spoke the world into existence, I used the same authority I now allow you to carry in your declarations. I did not give you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. And as you learn to speak truth over your mind, your home, your health, and your future, you will see shadows begin to retreat. I have seen the enemy try to silence you, trying to make you feel as though your prayers hit a ceiling of brass. But I tell you, your voice is not useless. Your voice is a weapon. Every time you declare that you are loved, every time you whisper my name in the middle of panic, you are tearing down strongholds that have stood for generations. You are a vessel through which my authority flows into the earth. Stand tall, my chosen one. The King of Kings stands behind you, and the word that holds the universe together is the same word that fights for you even now. My child, there is a great clamor in the world. 1,000 voices competing for your heart, and I know how weary you have become, trying to discern which one is mine. I want to teach you the secret of my frequency, so that you are never again deceived by the masquerade of the enemy. My voice is not a shout of panic. It is a still small whisper that brings a peace that surpasses all understanding, even when the world around you is in chaos. When I speak, I bring conviction that leads to life, never condemnation that leads to death. If the voice you hear in your mind is frantic, urgent, in a way that causes your heart to race with anxiety, or if it speaks in a tone of harshness, mockery, and shame, it is not mine. I am a father of order, not of confusion. My voice never drives you into a corner of hopelessness. It draws you into a spacious place of possibility and rest. I have seen you paralyzed by indecision, afraid to move, because the noise in your head has become a roar. but I am silencing every frequency that does not originate from my throne. The enemy is a master of disguise, often using the mask of your own logic or the painful memory of past mistakes to sound like the voice of truth. He whispers, "It's too late for you. You've missed your final chance," or "God is silent because he has finally turned away," in disappointment. These are the echoes of the pit designed to make you hide from the very presence that wants to heal you. Look closely at the fruit of the thoughts you are entertaining. If a thought leaves you feeling drained, dirty, or defeated, it is a lie from the one who was a liar from the beginning. My words are like balm to a burn. They may reveal a wound, but they always bring the medicine to cleanse it and the strength to stand again. I saw you last night, replaying a conversation in your head until you felt small and worthless, questioning every word you spoke and every action you took. I was there whispering that you are my masterpiece, but the static of the enemy's lies was too loud. I am breaking that static now. I am clearing the airwaves of your spirit so you can hear the melody of my love. Again, a song that has been singing over you since before you were born. I have seen the enemy exploit seasons of my silence to make you doubt my character. But my faithfulness is not dependent on your feelings. It is an unshakable rock. Sometimes my silence is not abandonment. It is preparation. You have felt as though I was far away, but I was watching you grow like a father watching his child take their first steady steps. Do not agree with the lie that my silence means I have left you to the wolves. I did not bring you through flood and fire, betrayal and loss only to leave you alone in the wilderness. I am with you in the wait. I am working behind the scenes when nothing seems to be moving. I am unmasking the voice of the stranger so you can walk with a sound mind and a confident heart, knowing exactly who is speaking to you. When I speak, you will feel a settling in your spirit, a quiet yes that resonates in your bones, and a clarity that dismisses fear. Now, do not let this moment pass without a response. Agreement is not noise. Agreement is alignment. If you are ready to reject the lies of the accuser and embrace the peace I provide, declare it with authority. Type "I believe" or 777 in the comments as a sign that you recognize my voice and you are tuning your heart to my frequency. And if my word has strengthened you today, and you feel led to place a small seed on my altar as an act of gratitude, there is a way to do that through super thanks. Do not give from pressure, and do not give to be seen. Give only if it is worship in your heart, because every seed sown in love becomes a testimony, and I see it. I will bless the hands that give with purity, and I will multiply the peace I am rebuilding within you. My child, pay close attention, for the atmosphere around you is beginning to vibrate with the frequency of change. The season of stagnation, where you felt like you were shouting into a void and receiving no echo, is coming to a definitive end. I am shifting the gears of the universe in your favor, and even now, behind the scenes, hearts are being moved, hands are being stayed, and doors that were bolted shut are being unlocked by my unseen hand. You have felt a restlessness in your spirit lately, not the restlessness of anxiety, but the anticipation of a runner at the starting line. This is because your spirit senses what your physical eyes cannot yet see. The tide has turned. The very things that were meant to drown you are now becoming the current that will carry you to your destination. I have seen your patience in the waiting room, and I tell you, your name has been called. The shift is not merely coming. The shift is already here, and it is beginning within the very depths of your soul. Within the next 24 hours, I will send you a sign that I am at work in the details of your life. It may come as a sudden, inexplicable peace that washes over you in the middle of a busy day. A peace that makes no sense given your circumstances. Or it may be as tangible as a phone call you weren't expecting, an email that provides a solution, or a conversation that confirms the very thing I have been whispering to your heart. Do not dismiss these moments as coincidence, for there are no coincidences in my kingdom, only divine appointments. I am the God of the suddenlies. When I decide it is time for your breakthrough, nothing in heaven or on earth can hold it back. Watch for the small things, for they are often the precursors to the great things I am about to do. The resistance you have been feeling is simply the friction of the old season passing away to make room for the new. I am moving in your finances, in your health, and in the hearts of those who have opposed you. You will soon see that the very people who doubted your value or tried to hinder your progress will be forced to witness my favor upon your life. This shift is not just for your comfort, but for my glory, so that it is unmistakable. It was not by your strength or your wisdom, but by my Spirit that these walls came down. Keep your eyes fixed on me, for I am doing a new thing, and it is already springing forth. The desert of your struggle is about to blossom, and the dry places of your soul are being irrigated by the rivers of my grace. So do not rush ahead and do not shrink back. Hold your peace. Stay steady. What I am arranging cannot be sabotaged, and what I have promised cannot be delayed by fear. My child, I have seen the quiet desperation that grips your heart when you look at the mounting bills and the dwindling resources in your hand. I have watched you calculate and recalculate, trying to stretch what is little into something that will suffice, only to find yourself breathless with worry by the end of the month. You have felt the spirit of lack like a heavy chain around your ankles, whispering that you will never have enough, that you are destined to struggle, and that my promises of provision were meant for everyone but you. But I am telling you the truth. I am Jehovah Jireh, your provider. I have not brought you this far to leave you in the hands of poverty or debt. The financial drought you endured was not proof of my absence. It was a season of training, teaching you to trust the source rather than worship the resource. And now I am breaking the back of that spirit of lack. I am teaching your mind to stop partnering with fear and to start agreeing with heaven. I am the God who restores what the locusts have eaten, the years of struggle, the missed opportunities, and the resources that were stolen through circumstances beyond your control. I have seen the sacrifices you made when you had little, the way you gave, even when it cost you, and the faithfulness you showed in the small things. Now I am preparing to entrust you with more, not as a trap, but as stewardship. This restoration is not merely numbers in an account. It is freedom, freedom to obey freedom, to build freedom, to breathe, freedom to fulfill the purpose I placed in you without the constant distraction of survival. The enemy has used financial pressure to keep your head down, focused on the dirt beneath your feet, instead of the horizon I prepared for you. He knows that when you are financially free, you become dangerous to darkness, able to fund what is righteous support, what is broken, and advance what is light. That is why the battle has been fierce. But the siege is lifting. I am restoring your confidence and your creativity. I am placing strategies in your spirit, ideas in your mind, and favor on your steps. You will no longer live under the tyranny of not enough. You will learn the language of my kingdom, where provision is not panic and where abundance begins with peace. So release the tight grip of anxiety. Lift your eyes. The harvest of your faithfulness is ripening, and the time of your reaping is near. I will supply what you need, and I will teach you how to carry it without fear. My precious child, I have seen the empty chairs at your table and the silent phone that once buzzed with names you thought would be there forever. I have watched the stinging tears fall when you realized that those you loved most were the ones who understood you the least. I saw you standing in the gap for people who would not stand for you, and I felt the ache in your heart when you had to walk away from a connection that felt like a part of your very soul. You have been betrayed, discarded, and gossiped about by voices you once trusted. But I want you to know that I have kept record of every tear and every silent prayer. I am the God who mends the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds, and I am bringing divine order to the relationships in your life. Some people were removed by my hand because they could not go where I am taking you. And yes, there are ties I am healing and restoring where covenant remains, where humility opens the door, and where my will is at work. Understand this, my beloved. Some departures were not your loss, they were your deliverance. I heard conversations you did not hear. I saw motives you could not see. And I moved certain people out of your circle because their presence was a hidden snare to your destiny. Do not grieve what I had to cut away to protect what I am growing. I am opening a new corridor of connection. I am bringing people of the same spirit, those who will not only see your surface, but will honor the weight I have placed upon your life. These are the divine helpers, the soul friends, the covenant partners who will sharpen you without shaming you and carry the burden with you instead of competing with you. I am healing fractures in families, softening hearts that have turned to stone, and teaching you how to love with wisdom instead of desperation. And I am giving you grace to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Forgiveness is not approval. Forgiveness is release. It unlocks the door to your future and breaks your agreement with the past. Trade the endless why for my steady who, the person I am forming you to become. Do not let old wounds make you a hermit. Let my love make you whole. The right people will not require you to shrink. The right people will recognize the light in you and protect it. And I will teach you how to walk in connection again, without fear, without self-betrayal, and without losing your peace. My beloved, there is a stir within the deepest chambers of your spirit, a vibration you haven't felt in years. You have spent so much time just trying to survive, just trying to keep your head above the water, that you have forgotten the immense power I have placed dormant within you. I have seen you see yourself as a grasshopper in a land of giants. But I am here to pull back the curtain on your true identity. You are not the victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your destiny through my spirit. The sleeping giant within you is beginning to stir because the time for hiding is over. The very trials that were meant to bury you have served as the soil for your roots to grow deep and strong. Now, as the sun of my favor rises, it is time for you to stand up in the full stature of who I created you to be. You were never meant to be small. You were born to be a beacon, a commander of the light, and a catalyst for change in a world that is desperate for the truth. You are not falling apart. You are falling into a purpose that is far greater than your previous pain. I have seen the enemy try to keep you in a state of spiritual slumber, lulling you with the whispers of not yet and you're not ready. He knows that an awakened chosen one is his greatest nightmare. When you realize that the same power that raised Christ from the dead lives in you, you become unstoppable. I am breathing fresh fire into your dry bones right now. The talents you thought were lost, and the dreams you buried under the weight of disappointment, and the passion that was extinguished by the cold winds of life, I am resurrecting them all. You are not just being restored to who you were. You are being upgraded to who you were always meant to be. This is your giant season. The limitations that once held you back are becoming like spider webs in the path of a lion. You have a voice that can shatter strongholds and a presence that can shift the atmosphere of any room you walk into. Do not be afraid of the magnitude of your calling, for I am the one who will sustain the weight of the glory I am putting on you. Your purpose is expanding beyond your own personal healing. I did not just deliver you from the fire so you could stand alone on the shore. I delivered you so you could become a rescuer. There are people whose destinies are tied to your obedience. People who are waiting for the sound of your voice to know that there is hope. You are being called to lead, to mentor, and to be a spiritual covering for those who are still lost in the shadows you just escaped. This is why the training was so intense. I needed you to know the terrain of the dark so you could guide others into the light with authority and compassion. You are no longer the one merely asking for a miracle. You are becoming the vessel through which my miracles flow. As you step into this authority, watch as the obstacles that once seemed like mountains begin to dissolve. You are a giant in the spirit, and it is time for the world to see the strength of the God you serve through the life that you live. I have seen you doubt your own capacity, but remember, it is my breath in your lungs and my spirit in your heart. When you speak, heaven backs you. When you move, the earth trembles. I am calling you out of the cave of fear and into the palace of your purpose. This is the moment of your great awakening. The season of being pushed around by the enemy is over. The season of you taking back the ground he stole is starting now. You are more than a conqueror, more than a survivor. You are my chosen instrument of righteousness. Embrace the power, embrace the calling, and embrace the giant that you are. I am with you, I am for you, and I am in you. The world is waiting for the manifestation of the sons and daughters of God, and tonight you are declaring to the universe that you are finally, fully, and powerfully awake. My child, the time for silence has passed, and the hour of your vocal authority has arrived. You have listened to the lies of the enemy for long enough, letting his whispers of defeat echo in the halls of your mind, until you almost believed they were your own. But today, I am putting the sword of the Spirit back into your hands. I want you to understand that your words are not just vibrations in the air. They are spiritual containers that carry the power of life and death. When you speak my truths, you are literally reshaping the atmosphere of your life and reordering the elements of your reality. I have watched you whisper your fears in the dark, but now I want you to shout your victory in the light. I am calling you to stand firm right where you are and prepare to make a divine decree that will echo through the corridors of heaven and the depths of the abyss. This is not a suggestion. It is a command from the throne room. When you speak these words out loud, you are signaling to every principality and power that the old management of fear has been evicted. Your voice is the key that locks the door to the pit and opens the windows of heaven over your household. I want you to speak these words out loud right now with a boldness that surprises even yourself. Let them vibrate through your chest and into the very atmosphere of your room. Say this with me. I am a child of the Most High God, and I stand in the authority of His name. I am not a victim of my past. I am a victor in my future. I break every curse of lack, every chain of anxiety, and every shadow of depression that has tried to claim my spirit. I declare that I am the head and not the tail, above and never beneath. Every weapon formed against me shall fail, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment is now silenced by the blood of the Lamb. I am forgiven, I am chosen, and I am favored beyond measure. I command my mind to be at peace, my body to be whole, and my hands to be productive. I am strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. My house is a sanctuary of light, and the enemy has no place, no power, and no permission to enter here. It is finished, and the victory is mine. Feel the shift as those words leave your lips. They are not mere syllables, they are seeds of fire being planted in the soil of eternity. Every time you speak these truths, you are aligning your frequency with the heartbeat of heaven and dismantling the strongholds of the enemy. Do not go back to speaking about how big your problems are. Start speaking to your problems about how big your God is. I have seen the thief try to steal your voice by making you feel as though your prayers are hitting a brass ceiling, but I tell you that your decree has just torn the veil. You are changing your spiritual DNA and your mental patterns with every word of faith you utter. This is how you walk in the triumph I have already secured for you. Keep this decree on your lips as you walk through your day. When doubt tries to creep back in silence, it immediately with "Thus says the Lord." I am backing every word of faith you speak, and I am moving the mountains you just commanded to move. Your mouth is a fountain of life. Use it to water the garden of your destiny until it blossoms into the miracle you have been praying for. Now, my beloved, I want you to take a deep, slow breath and find a place of absolute stillness in your spirit. We are entering the most sacred moment of our time together, a moment where the physical and the spiritual collide to bring about your total liberation. I want you to close your eyes and visualize my light, a brilliant, warm, and purifying gold beginning to descend from the heavens and surrounding you like a cocoon of fire. This is the fire that does not burn but heals. It is the fire of my presence that consumes every lie, every chain, and every shadow that has ever tried to latch onto your soul. Feel the tension leaving your neck, your shoulders, and your mind as my spirit begins to hover over you, just as it hovered over the waters at the beginning of creation. I am speaking order into your chaos right now. I am speaking peace, be still to the storm that has been raging in your heart. You are in a sanctuary of my making, and in this space, no weapon of the enemy can survive. In the authority of my holy name, I command every chain that has bound your mind to shatter into 1,000 pieces. I rebuke the spirit of fear, the spirit of heaviness, and the spirit of infirmity that has tried to make its home in your body. I decree that every generational curse, every word spoken against your destiny by those who came before you, and every self-inflicted wound of guilt is now washed away by the blood of the Lamb. I am pulling out the roots of bitterness and the seeds of trauma that the enemy planted in your childhood. I command the atmosphere of your home to be cleansed. Every dark cloud must dissipate, and every lingering shadow must flee at the sound of my voice. I am placing a hedge of protection around your family, your children, and your future. I declare that your sleep tonight will be deep, sweet, and restorative, and that no night terror or intrusive thought shall come near your dwelling. You are marked by my grace, and the darkness now recognizes that you are untouchable. I am breathing my life into your weary lungs and my strength into your tired bones. Feel the warmth of my healing power flowing from the top of your head to the soles of your feet, repairing every cell and renewing every thought. I am giving you a new heart, a heart of flesh, to replace the heart of stone that life's disappointments have created. I am sealing your mind with the helmet of salvation, so that from this moment forward, only thoughts of hope, peace, and victory can take root. The siege is over. The battle is won. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end of your story. And I have declared that your story ends in glory, not in defeat. Rest now in the assurance that I am standing guard over you. And as you drift into sleep, my angels will continue the work of restoration that we have begun here. You are free, you are whole, and you are eternally mine. My beloved, the sun is setting on the season of your struggle, and a new dawn is breaking over your horizon. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, and I tell you with the authority of the heavens that what I have begun in you this day, I will surely bring to a magnificent completion. Do not look back at the shadows of yesterday with regret, for they have no power to follow you into the light of this new beginning. Tonight, as you lay your head down, you will not do so with a heart of fear, but with a spirit anchored in my promises. I have placed my hand upon your life, and I have marked you as my own. The battle you fought was the final test of your endurance, and you have passed. I am making everything beautiful in its time, and your time of blooming has arrived. Rest in the knowledge that my eyes never leave you, and my love never fails you. You are being carried by the same hands that shaped the galaxies, and those hands will never let you fall. You are safe, you are protected, and you are deeply, unconditionally loved. It is time to lock this blessing into your reality and ensure that no thief can steal the seeds of peace we have planted together. This is the moment of the final seal. I want you to perform one last act of faith to signal to the universe that you have accepted your deliverance and that you are stepping into your new identity. Do not stay silent as you cross this threshold. Type Amen or "It is done" in the comments right now to seal this prophecy in your life forever. By doing this, you are closing the door on the enemy and placing the King's signet ring upon the promises I have given you. Let these words be the foundation upon which you build your new life of favor and power. As you type, feel the permanence of my grace settling into your soul. You are no longer drifting, you are anchored. You are no longer searching, you have been found. The chains are not just loosened, they are gone. Declare it with your own hands, for what is bound on earth is bound in heaven. And tonight you are binding yourself to my eternal goodness. As you move forward into this life of purpose, remember that you are never meant to walk alone. I am inviting you one final time to stay within the warmth of this family of light. Press the like button to signal your lasting agreement with my word, and subscribe to this channel so that my voice can continue to be your guide through every season ahead. Whenever the shadows try to return, or the whispers of the enemy grow loud, come back to this sanctuary and let my truth remind you of who you truly are. You are my precious child, my chosen warrior, and my greatest joy. The world will see my glory through you, and you shall be a testimony of my redeeming power to all who cross your path. Go now in peace. Sleep in the safety of my arms, and wake up to the miracle that is already waiting for your arrival. I am with you always, even unto the end of the age. It is finished. It is done. Amen.